Oh, I see. I like this before we go into this.
Oh, man.
Hey, this is Jim, the Key Bartender, coming to you from Blackwater Siren on the south side of Jewfish Creek, on the south side of Jewfish Creek Bridge. We're on Blackwater Sound. It is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous day. The sun's shining. We're on the deck here.
We were actually out here playing, I think, Friday night. And
that's Bill Wissinger.
The sunset was gorgeous from here.
Yeah. Okay, well, I am joined today by...
what's
Bill
the name
Wissinger,
of this road, man, that you get off
US
on?
1.
No, man.
The Yacht Club Drive.
Yacht Club Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, Yacht Club Drive.
Wandering, meandering is a thought.
Man. I don't see very many yachts,
Luke
man.
Summer Glenn.
Hey, are we playing a game and interrupt Jim while he's trying to introduce everybody?
No, I'm not trying
pretty good at that.
We're good at this?
No, that's all right. I'm just trying to introduce everyone.
Oh, introduce away.
This is Joshua Kassel, a bartender. I'm pointing, which doesn't really work in the medium we're working, but I'm pointing to my right.
Because I didn't wash my hair
a bartender I worked with for 8 years at a place in Key Largo.
God rest her soul.
We're friends, and he is a personality of interest. But we are at Blackwater Siren, and it is a Tuesday, and we're going to be eventually doing it. We're going to go reintroducing the live show. We do a live podcast in that we don't edit. Josh, that's when I say it's live. We don't edit. We go with what we have. Obviously, if it goes,
who's got time to sit and edit, man? Fuck that.
No, well, you're right. You're fucking right, Luke. But this week's episode is called "Where Are My Fucking Keys?" Who do you think these keys are going to be about? Who do you think this story is going to be about?
Has to be me because I've lost my fucking keys.
I know it's going to be about you. We're going to talk about that later.
I disappeared for a whole week, man, and showed up at the Caribbean Club.
But you know what?
Because of my dog's first fucking tag.
Well, that's one of the stories.
Tag.
But I first met Luke. I'm looking at the place right across the sound here, Gilbert's, where I first met. I met Luke. Yeah, it was at Gilbert's or at the Caribbean Club, and
been the Encore.
No. I was working at the Encore. I've been working at the Encore, but almost within a couple months, like 4 or 5 months, I met you at the Caribbean Club, and then I think we really started talking when you were performing on Saturday afternoons.
I've played so many different schedules over there over the years.
Yeah, and one of the bartenders here is Jim. I worked with him over at Gilbert's.
Yeah, I worked with Jim over at Gilbert's.
Jim, and they used to go and say, "Which Jim?" And they go, "Tall Jim."
Yeah.
There you go. What?
The other tall Jim.
Which tall Jim are you talking about?
No,
there's two tall Jims here.
No, rude Jim, man. You got that's how I.
Is that me or him? I didn't know.
Jim will yell at you for ordering a foo-foo drink. Fuck you! You're getting a shot.
Well, you know what? I did have
a guy. Man, that's supposed to be. That's supposed to happen.
Hey, Luke, I did have a guy come up, and he was wearing a Mac truck hat, and he goes, "I'll have a vodka, cranberry, splash of lime, a little triple sec, and a side of a lime wedge." And he goes, "That's all right. That's just a copy." I go, "Oh, did you get that?" And I said, "Yeah, I got that. That's a Cosmo." That's just like all those girls on Sex and the City, those women that drinking on Sex and the City. A guy looks at me. He was burning up looking at me. It was right over there. I can almost see the seat. If you look a little to the right of that tiki, he was sitting right over there looking at me and going, "Why do you say that?" "Well, hey, man, you're ordering a Cosmo." It's like instead of saying a vodka and orange juice, telling everyone, and then when you...
Hey, interesting fact is the Cosmo was invented by a man in the 1980s. So
almost every
if that
drink
makes him feel any better, it was a drink invented by a man.
Whoever invented that drink probably wouldn't suck a dick, but I bet they would hold one in their mouth.
It originally came with a roofie in it.
Guys invent drinks. Bartenders invent drinks to get girls' panties off.
Mm. Oh, yeah, we actually used to...
Yeah, those are mind erasers.
No,
yeah, that's right.
Pink panty pull-downs.
Well, it's
Raspberry
just something
lemonade,
too.
never
You can't. I mean, otherwise we'd be just saying. Someone like me is think, "What's your drink?" and it'd be like a bourbon neat and a Budweiser. I mean, actually, I'm not a Budweiser. I used to be Yingling before the guy went for the orange guy.
See, growing up in the country, man,
the
girls
orange guy.
always
We try
knew
not
when
to be
it was
too
time to go
thing.
home. When the interior light came on in the cab of the truck, they knew it was time to go.
Well, I'm working on one right now. I call it the Cosbypolitan. It's got all the same ingredients except for just one that I will not disclose on air.
Okay. GHB.
I'm working on a patent right now.
It puts the sedative in the cocktail. I can't do voices. I can't do fucking voices. That's the thing.
If you were making me laugh so hard, I'd do my best Cosby, but it's gone. I can't do it.
I can't do an Arnold one too. Yeah. He wasn't a bartender.
You mean Fat Albert? What are you talking about, Arnold?
Arnold. I can do an Arnold one every so often.
Oh, like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I can't do Fat Albert. I can do up to that point maybe.
Rape. I like that big ass you got there.
Baby, man.
Now you sound like the Swedish chef. You're trying to say, I'll be going down to bowling. You know what? This is slightly going down a racist road. I really want to go.
Not do this anymore. I'm sure we have
I just
wonderful.
can't do the voices. Just because you can't do the voice doesn't make you a racist.
Well, because you've been to Poland, I would imagine you have some Polish listeners.
Oh, we do.
But
I
that's
got those
different
two
than
Polish
Swedish,
girls.
and therefore I just was racist.
No, the two Polish girls. No, Swedish. Yeah. Well, I got a friend in Sweden. Steve Kowalski, I'm going to send him a shout out. He's an educator and also a comedian. He married a Swedish woman and has kids over. He lives in Sweden. He's from Northeast Philadelphia.
I worked with him for years. Team by any chance?
He's a really cool guy. He's a funny guy.
I mean, his wife, was she on the bikini team, man? You always hear about the Swedish
She
bikini
wasn't that
team.
kind of lady. She's very not that those girls aren't classy, but that wasn't the first thing I thought about her. She just looked very kind of pretty and
Nordic.
presentable. Not particularly. You know what's funny? When you find out someone's from Sweden or Finland, you go, you got a lot of darker hair than I think you would. You think it would be blonde.
Well, Finns tend to be dark.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you see them and you go, when they're not real pale and blonde, you go, wow. It's just, you expect them to look like, I don't know. We don't have anything in particular nearby.
I spent a lot of time in Helsinki, and the Finns tend to be dark.
Oh man, that's pretty awesome. Next time I'm here, I'm looking at
drink.
Bill's smoking
constantly.
a cigar. I have all this. I got a great box of cigars for Christmas.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not the other day.
Yeah, not the other day. Yeah.
But I still have it, and I have a remnants of a cold. So,
well, I got a full-on cold, man. I'm sweating and coughing and hagging. I'm still smoking.
I got over.
I'm glad you're sitting over there.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, no shit. I picked the right spot.
What I do for a cold is I go and work my ass off. I go and work out real hard. I do some cardio.
Go ahead,
and coughs everything up. And I can tell you guys from all my encouragement, I've finally been able to not be able to get Luke and Bill to come and work out with me.
No.
You know what I've started doing recently, right? I told you.
Relaxing. Playing basketball.
Playing basketball. First time in 15 years. Do you want to know an interesting thing, and then we'll move on?
You have a vertical leap of 5 feet.
Well,
5 inches.
The interesting thing about not playing basketball for about 15 years and then picking one up is they are so much lighter than you think. My first 10 shots went not only over the backboard, but they went over the fence.
Where you play Key Largo
I worked out more just sprinting 100 yards to go get the ball than I did actually playing.
We're fortunate for being such a small community down here.
Basketball Jones.
Is that from
I was a little baby, I'll always be dribbling.
Basketball Jones is from being there, isn't it?
No, man. Cheech and Chong, man.
I thought it was from being there. Or Hoop Dreams or something like that.
Dave.
What are you doing?
Dave, man.
Who is it?
It's Dave. Open up.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no.
It's Dave.
Dave's not here.
It's Dave, man. The cops are following me. It's Dave.
Okay. Oh, man.
D-A-V-E, Dave. Now open up the goddamn door.
Okay,
Dave's not
so
here, man.
this is perfect.
We're getting to
because this works out really good because we could go into we can still talk about Cheech and Chong, but the reason why Cheech and Chong was because of the pot culture, they were, I mean, in the 70s, the early 70s.
We had the albums, man.
I mean, was it when they get Cheech and Chong? They came about maybe in the very late 60s, but they really hit their stride in the early 70s. And I remember they had the big white album with the big
rolling paper. My dad had that album when I was a kid. I remember that.
Big rolling paper. And they had that bit. They had the Days Man thing.
It took a quarter pound of weed to really fill that paper out.
Yeah.
A quarter pound. No, it did not.
And then this is where
do you know how much that is?
Yeah. Do you know
how big that rolling paper would have to be?
Good idea.
That's how big the big
I would just say that he's stretching that a little bit.
The nice thing about Key Largo is you can always find your car if you don't drive it off a bridge or into a canal, but you may not always find your keys. And I have a story. One night,
back then when you buy weed, it was full of seeds and stems. So by the time you got a clean quarter pound,
it was only an ounce.
It's probably 2.5 ounces.
Why don't you share this with our listeners then? Okay. Once you clean out all your,
they don't have that skunk weed anymore, man.
Remember that song about Acapulco Gold? No stems, no seeds that we don't need. Acapulco Gold is a badass weed. Okay, so where are my fucking keys? You were playing a gig. You were playing a gig at the Catch, and right at the end, he couldn't find his keys. So
because Kimberly had taken my keys, and
he's already making excuses.
And so I had a key on a little yellow thing, man, like a garbage tie. And the little yellow thing fell off, so I couldn't find my fucking key.
45 minutes, everyone was looking for the keys. And I think they kept on looking for a little while, and then all of a sudden someone looks out the window and goes, "Hey, Luke's driving off." They're looking for his keys, and he doesn't tell anybody. I found him. He just takes off and goes to Caribbean Club.
I was already embarrassed.
He never found them. He actually found his spare key. It was like 4 days later when everybody blew up his phone and Kimberly's phone going, "Dude, your keys are at the crib."
Oh, you left them there?
Well, how can they be at the crib? What happened
I think Kim dropped them. The only reason we knew it was him.
We were probably doing something nefarious out back, and we required a key for.
I don't know if it was
what you should do with it?
And
you ever seen the movie Papillon?
Yes.
Steve McQueen?
Yes.
I'm not sticking it in my butt, man.
Yeah. Luke.
No.
Luke, listen.
Maybe if they vibrated, I would.
You're always going to know where they are. You're always going to know. You rat hole
every step you take.
Stash them right up there, just like Dustin Hoffman did. You're never going to lose them.
No.
Can I just revisit the fact he said that his keys were on a garbage tie?
Yeah.
Like what you keep your bread closed with?
No, one of those.
Like, what do you mean a garbage tie?
It's a plastic, the plastic one.
Or the yellow plastic thing with the
triangle opening.
Okay, well, either way, like most people have keychains and... I mean, I just don't understand why a garbage tie.
Luke's a man of nature.
That's where I would have started. I would have been like, what kind of person is carrying their keys?
Luke doesn't try to waste anything, right?
My van key doesn't even have a key ring. It sits in the ignition of my van.
Well, nobody's going to steal that. There's probably a couple underage children in back there by the looks of it.
Josh mentioned when you came up, there were two strange-looking vans came rolling up.
That's the creepiest van I've ever seen.
Oh, you got it. Wait.
It's my...
You got a dog tag on there?
Yeah, from an actual dog, though, not from the military.
T-Bone, man. And so they called up Jeff Bailey and gave him the number on the thing. He's like, well, those are probably Luke's keys.
So if your dog runs off, they don't know who it is. But if you lose your keys,
the dog
you can track them through the vet.
They return them to the vet.
The dog is chipped. So.
You know what you should get? You should get a life alert on that.
Actually,
the way his mind works is amazing.
A life alert.
If the dog ever runs off, everybody knows the dog. We'll just throw the dog in the car and come down and, hey, Luke, I got your dog.
So we're not going to rat hole those keys up your butthole next time, your bunghole?
No, because they don't vibrate or anything cool.
Would you like that? Oh, there we go.
I don't even know what half of these motherfuckers go to anyway.
You in beer run?
Like Christopher Walken in Pulp Fiction, right?
Can you get me? I'll take one of those.
I'm having a Stellar.
I'll have the same.
I'm having a Miller's Light.
The same as you.
Damn, gotta say Miller's Light.
Yes. Miller's Light.
So
got it from a real Miller?
So, we're trying to establish some ways that we can Probably. How about if we go to stash one in your hat? You never lose your hat.
No, but people are always yanking and tugging on it, knocking it off my head. And, well, it'll just fall out somewhere. I mean, there's really no good place.
We could do an attachment. We could do attachment in there. We could do like a Velcro.
Look, this hat's about to start crawling around all by itself. So
how about a Velcro attachment in there?
No, that only lasts for a little while. And
how about inside your shorts?
No, man, I barely even can stand wearing shorts anyway.
Tastes like nuts.
Man.
I mean, what do you put the keys in your mouth? I don't know why I said that. Okay, well, I mean, we're going to come up with some kind of answer. You never lose your sunglasses, do you?
Oh, all the time. Fuck, man. I lose sunglasses.
How about your guitars?
More than
what thing do you not
I have
lose?
driven off and left my guitar in a parking lot before.
Man.
You left it at Robbie's Marina a few years back. I remember seeing that. You were freaking out.
Yeah, because I had one stolen once, so I overreacted that time. But that was my own fault.
Yeah. Fingerprint recognition lockbox on your car.
No, man.
He's got no
I got
fingerprints.
A piece of shit van. It barely runs. The windows don't work in it. You know, what the fuck am I going to do? Hell, at least radio works.
You know what, Luke? I hope we can get the show really cranking because we'd like to get you a van. Maybe we could start one of those.
It's got to have no windows.
What do you call those? GoFundMe page?
Man, my dream van is any Ford Econoline.
My dream van is anything but a fucking van.
For hauling equipment, man. And the reason I like the Econoline is because I've had several of them, of which I've put over 500,000 miles on. And I always had a place to stay. I was never homeless when I had a.
Did he say 500,000 miles?
What?
How many miles you have on this one?
Oh, well, that's the POS. It's barely got 100,000 on it, and it's not. No, my other big Fords, man, I put about 250,000, 300,000 miles a piece on them, and the only reason, farm out, man.
Miller's
amazing.
Light. Remember, Miller's Light. We're live on air.
They're milking the Miller right now.
No, until they pay me any kind of money, I am not saying their name.
I'm gonna. You know what? I say that. I say it on the. But you know what?
My grandmother
it doesn't
used to
matter.
do that
We can
too.
say you're right, and it's wearing shirts like that. I just want to send a shout out to some people that are listening to us. Our podcasts, other podcasts. One are the Heebie Jeebie podcast from Atlanta. They listen. They think you're funny. That Heebie Jeebie. The Heebie Jeebie babes.
They're babes.
They are babes. Nora
I'm 35
and Ellie,
years old,
and
recently
Nora,
divorced.
and they do this podcast, and it starts out like horror movies and things like that, but they also do a little true crime and stuff. But they're real. They're real sweet and personal, and their listeners are showing they like they say me trying to manage a Luke is like herding a cat. And then there's the other show.
A flock of cats, man.
Now there's the other show. It's LSJ Media. It's science fiction podcast and science fiction film podcast. Oh. And it's Dean, Matthew, Joshua, and Jessica. And they review movies.
Oh, I love it already. I want to listen.
Oh, they're awesome. But they just don't do science fiction. They do any movie. And they got these people. They got their members will nominate movies. So they just I was listening to they were doing the Planet of the Apes. And
the new one or the old one?
The new one. It's better. It's the
wait
best
a minute.
parts
Which
of the
new one?
The one with the
Mark
the first,
Wahlberg in Arizona, or
the first one. There were three. Like the first one was
that
Planet
is
of the
confusing.
Apes, and the second. Oh, you're right.
No,
there
but
were two
even
first
before
ones.
there was the one with Marky
You're
Mark.
right. There was James Franco was the first
Marky
one.
Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah, well, that's they talk about
Marky
it.
Mark was the one that filmed it like
Dean and Matt.
No, the first one had Charlton Heston in it.
I'm talking about the first.
We're talking about the first remake.
First remake.
The first remake is Marky Mark, and then the second remakes are the trilogy we now have.
Yeah, but
sorry.
And no. But
they should have me on their podcast.
No, they're awesome. They do
Marky
from
Mark
Boston,
was
so they do a real.
Oh yeah, you would.
They do a really good
I'd have
Mark
to see a picture of him, I guess.
impression of a Mookie Boston guy. And I
Mark
can't even do
Wahlberg?
it.
Is he
And
Marky
they do
Mark?
this shit. They were doing it. Remember this?
Hey, rap band.
Do you remember the
80s.
remake? Do you remember the remake?
The boy band thing,
Oh
man.
yeah. Do you remember the remake though, with the one with Mark Wahlberg?
No, man, I don't think I saw it.
Okay. Well, there's a scene in it where the apes are having a dinner party.
I did watch the new Star Trek, man. I thought that was pretty fucking good.
Okay, that's good. It's good to be on track. Wait a second.
But I don't know none of the actors in it, but the dude who did Spock was pretty awesome.
You're right.
And Uhura was fucking awesome looking, man.
I wouldn't call her. I don't care what a woman does. I wouldn't call her that. Oh, Uhura.
Uhura, yeah.
You said the whore.
I thought that was like a New Jersey accent for whore.
Okay, wait.
Those are the chicks that if you
gradually
kiss
guide
them,
you back.
they have full control of you.
Guide them back.
They make you look like you're in charge.
I'm going to guide you right back in.
Eye contact,
right there to the Planet of the Apes. And they're doing a dinner party. And they're talking about how
the Planet of the Apes. You remember that one?
That was the original one, the one with the people that had the mask on and shit like that. And but in the Mark Wahlberg one, they're saying like Mark Wahlberg. They start riffing on that Mark Wahlberg went to technical school and he got into space through technical school because he doesn't seem like a scientist or anything like that, which is like a scientist astronaut. But when they're having a debate on whether humans are intelligent, and one of the apes didn't like the way the other apes were treating the humans, and it was an ape being played by a Japanese actor, and they went immediately into a Japanese
full Japanese accent.
Oh, it was great.
I do not want to be.
No. Okay, I can't do the accent. No. Yours is better. They go, you're dishonorable monkeys. You treat these humans with dishonor. At every instance, you should try to behead your enemy, but until the time, you must treat them with honor. And they go in this, and they go, Samurai Gorilla, and they go in this whole bit, Samurai Gorilla. And they go, Samurai Gorilla. On this week, Samurai Gorilla fight the tiger people. There are tiger people in the tall grass.
Hey, man, you remember Hong Kong food? Number one super guy.
Bring out the banana pudding.
Are they paying you? Because we're totally pumping their show up right now. Hopefully they talk about your show.
No. It doesn't matter at this point because they've been around longer.
I'm joking. It's wonderful.
No, you're right. It is wonderful.
Do you want to know the basis to a good, stereotypical, horrible Japanese accent?
What? Let's hear it.
Just be raspy and angry and end everything in do-do-do.
Do-do-do.
I am on podcast do-do-do.
I like Long Duck Dong in 16 Candles. Donger, where is grandfather's car? Grandfather's car in Big Lake. Remember?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm 35.
And he kicks him in the nuts.
I remember.
No, you don't remember 16 Candles, Luke?
No.
Just give me a blank.
No, I think I was.
I didn't mean to correct you, man. I didn't mean talk about fucking Planet.
No, man. I was just trying to remember that movie, man. Who'd that have? Ali Sheedy or somebody in it?
You're close.
Ali Sheedy.
She's one of the Brat Pack.
Oh, no.
Molly Ringwald.
That's better than what I thought he would guess.
Molly Ringwald and the guy.
Molly with the ring,
and the skinny kid with the braces.
Holly Ringworm, yeah.
The skinny kid with the braces. Yeah.
No, I didn't dig her because she cut her hair short, man. I like chicks with fucking long hair, man.
Somebody's just saying 316 to us. What is that?
Yeah, Sweet 16. There's another
Sweet 16.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you said Bible verses. I go like this. I go, holy shit.
That's
I thought we were thinking
really
of the
like
Bible
Stone
verse.
Cold Steve
Matthew
Austin.
3, verse 16. Thou shalt not make fun of redheads.
So I tried to watch a really weird movie last night that won all these Oscars back in 72 called Midnight Cowboy with John Voight.
I love Midnight Cowboy. That's a great fucking movie.
I kept dozing off.
Sterling.
I don't even know what happened in that movie.
That's Captain Sterling.
We want to thank Sterling, but somebody just keeps talking.
No, Luke, that's what Luke does best.
What's fun is
you
when
don't interrupt Luke.
Why?
We interrupt Luke all the time.
We don't interrupt their stream of thought.
I'll say one of my favorite things so far about this podcast is watching you try to spit out information as fast as you can before he starts talking.
That's what I try to do.
I mean, this is just amazing. Just
I'm not speeding it up. That's not editing. I just go and come out as quick as possible. So this time he's talking about LSD.
Yeah,
that's acid to you and me. to Luke, that's candy.
I was actually thinking about.
Problem is, there's no good acid anymore, man. It's all this fucking speed-laced, nasty.
I just let a cat piss in my face, dude. That's the best trip ever.
Well, you go right ahead. You keep that up.
No, I still like
You know what?
mushrooms.
I don't know
man.
enough about cat urine to know if that's true or not.
It stinks really bad, I know, because
No,
cats pee on all my shit.
No.
All my equipment smells like.
there
You go
could
to
be
my
some
van right now, my
hallucinatory,
van
I was
smells
just
like
joking,
cat
but-
piss because my window
But now I
doesn't
know
go.
why he's so fucked up.
So the cats get in my van and they fucking have piss wars on all my equipment.
No,
Yeah.
now if we're
This is my fucking van.
if we're going to talk about cats and
Looks
taking
like,
a
why don't I
piss,
get any more gigs?
we got
I
to
mean, it
talk
only
about
smells
Luke's
like ammonia
Facebook post
everywhere.
from last week.
Oh, it's worse than ammonia.
Do dogs bark at you all the time?
No, hell
Yeah.
no.
Shit.
No, we got to talk about Luke's Facebook post from earlier last week.
Well, okay, let's hear it.
Oh,
Luke has Facebook.
yeah. So I'm sitting there. I got
Only because my wife's phone had to be changed and she went off, so I had to fucking shamelessly promote my fucking
Yes.
self. So I reactivated my fucking page.
So
but now I got her hooked back fucking up on fucking Facebook. So fuck you, Facebook. I'm going to say goodbye again.
We get good stuff from you.
Okay,
I thought he got a cat hammock for.
Yeah, you know what?
for his
There's no
cat.
danger of us ever getting a sponsorship from Facebook, so you can do whatever you want. But don't say that about Google, please.
No.
They can slow down our stream.
Google
He's
is
like,
cool, man.
Mike-
There you go.
Mike
Google's gonna take-
Zuckerberg
They can
suck
slow
it.
down. They can slow down all our streaming and,
And
shit
I
like
have
that.
to admit, even though I'm an Apple fan, fucking Ask Google is way
I like-
better than fucking Siri. Fucking
Siri is-
Google is
Oh,
Johnny on
Google
the fucking
Assistant.
spot.
Google
Yeah,
Assistant, I like it. I like our voice.
Wasn't
It's
Bill about to
superior.
say something funny?
Yeah, no, we're getting there. We'll get back around there eventually.
I like Mark Zuckerberg though. You ever seen that movie Social Network?
I don't
No.
like him because he sold
Mark
fucking
Zuckerberg was not
advertising
actually
time
in
to
the movie
Russians
Social
and stuff.
Network. Just
The character
FYI.
was depicted by what's his name? Aaron
Nope.
Sorkin.
Nope.
Never seen it.
Sorkin?
Nope. You're not even close.
Sorkin?
Oh, damn.
No, wasn't he a writer?
Sorkin.
He was the writer. The guy that wrote West Wing.
Josh
is
has
the one that wrote
got this
Social.
all fucking take care of.
Wait a second.
Oh,
Wait,
no,
wait.
I'm loving listening to
Aaron
him.
Sorkin was the one that wrote Facebook, the Social Network.
But you said it in Social Network.
No. What I meant depicted.
He wrote it.
He was depicted. Yeah, I mean the actor actually
He was
portrayed him.
depicted
Oh, there you go.
I thought you were talking about the actor portraying him.
A betrayal. I think betrayal.
Portrayal.
Portrayal.
You're
Not
saying
betrayal.
portrayal.
You said betrayal. I thought, I thought something
Hey,
was
don't
happening
fuck
there.
with my
Portrayal.
Philadelphia accent. There's a lot of shit you say fucked up.
Well, fucking
Come on,
A, man.
We speak perfectly good English.
Oh,
what the
yeah.
hell's wrong with you people?
Fucking hillbillies.
Anyway,
I love these guys.
I get a video from Luke's phone and post on Facebook, and I'm going, oh, cool.
I gotta hear this.
He got a cat hammock for his cat.
Really?
So I'm looking at this, and he's got this cute little green little cat hammock, and I see him play with the cat. And only about 30 seconds in the video, when it slides over and you see his ankle, you realize it's his underwear strapped between his legs. He's sitting on the toilet with his cat in the middle, playing with it. And this is on
For
Facebook.
it. A cat hammock? That's a wonderful invention. I'm going to ask Josh to describe another invention for cats.
Well, have you ever heard of kitten mittens? Let me ask you something. Are your cats too loud? Do they make tons of noise when they walk?
Boom,
How
boom,
about
boom,
actually,
kitten mittens?
Oh, man, you know how
It can
cats
drive
can't
you
stand
crazy.
Right
man.
now,
No,
I have
actually,
my
my-
hand going from my head to
Actually, my
insinuate
big gray kitty cat, you can ask Lords this, man, my good friend Lords, because she babysat him. My big gray cat, he is a heavy walker, man. Boom, 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 boom.
You're wild.
Even my fat cat doesn't stomp as hard as he does.
You know, Luke's wild.
I knew a guy with like 50
He's
cats
wild
would
about
need
the pussy.
kitten mittens.
I only got 3 cats, man.
He is, isn't he, Bill?
And a dog.
No, I've got 6 fucking cats.
You're the,
Oh,
know
you
what?
got
It's
more
like-
cats than
You know
anybody.
what? You always hear. You
Go
always
on.
like,
I pussy. What can we say?
We won't talk about the
no,
fact
but I have to
there's
say
a
something.
legal
You know
minimum
what? You
amount
always
of
hear about
pets you're
these
allowed to
country
own in
guys,
this
they
area.
treat
So let's not
cats
talk
like
about your
shit.
6 cats.
I have
know, like-
one grumpy old
I'm not
outside
southern,
cat.
not southern or northern. Country people and northern people. When people are going to display sociopathic, psychopathic tendencies, it's always towards cats first.
Oh, yeah, man. Your worst
That's because
serial
they're complete
killers
little
always start
bastards.
with
Wait a minute.
killing
What
a cat.
about the
Because they're
son of Sam?
complete
Wasn't that a dog
bastards.
talking to him? Ain't nobody ever been told to kill people by a cat.
No,
No,
what I'm
no,
saying
I'm talking
is
about
when they're little
harming 'em.
kids, when they start before
When they're
a serial
harming 'em.
killer
Oh,
And
always
they always
starts out
and
as
there
a
was
cat
guys. I
killer.
remember
Well,
in
that's
high
'cause the
school
cat doesn't look as-
when a guy starts talking about like this is what we do, and I go, I'm looking at him with consternation, not understanding. I just look at something. I'm in high school. I'm going, how can you harm a being?
No,
I understand that thing where people have the thing when you burn up ants with the magnifying glass and you don't see it as
well,
the
you
same
quit
level.
doing that when you're 5. Man.
No, but when you start seeing you're torturing living things.
No, for me, I was killing birds long before I was killing humans.
Oh. You know what? We're gonna the heebie-jeebie babes are gonna hear that. They're gonna love that stuff.
Actually, when I was a little kid, I shot a bird with a BB gun, and after I did that, I was like, I felt so bad because I killed this bird with a BB gun.
I think I killed a bird
I shot my
once
sister with a BB gun.
I will shoot a hog.
I was in so much trouble. It went into like a layer into her skin. Like they had to pop it out. I was in so much trouble. But my sister was a horrible human being, but I love her to death now.
Oh, good.
Wait a second. I heard great stories you told me about your sister.
Did I tell you about when she used to
younger or older sister?
Older sister.
Oh yeah.
And she
are you the baby or are you in the middle?
Oh, I got it.
Oh, she changed, man.
I was one of the things I always remember of her and how horrible she was when we were kids. Now I love her now. She used to like to tackle me with a beanbag, and she would sit there and read a book. And every now and then she'd reach underneath, she'd tickle me, and she'd mess around. She wouldn't let me up until I pissed myself. Once I pissed myself, she'd reach her hand under there, she'd feel the wetness. Not a word. Get up, take this beanbag away, and walk off.
That's a little weird.
That's a keeper, Josh. You know what I mean? That's a real
weird.
keeper.
Well,
so how many kids does
now
she
I know why
have
she's
now?
so nice to me.
Yeah.
Well, I was a baby in my family by a lot of years.
Yeah.
My sister was 20 years older than me.
Well, no, I met Bill's. I didn't meet your family.
And you probably never will.
Your sister is 20 years younger than you?
No, older than I am.
Oh,
but she's dead now, so
I'm sorry to hear
technically,
that, buddy.
Yeah, she's old, but she's dead.
You're not going to meet her. Yeah, no. Jim
She's old, but she's dead.
I mean, if I make it another 8 years, I'll have lived as long as she did. She died at age 62.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Jim got to hang out with my mother and my sister one night.
Yeah, that was that night I told him.
You'll never hang out with my mom,
Billy,
ever.
and they started laughing.
Let's go to her house.
Do they both have big beards too?
No.
Oh, they're
no.
nice-looking women, fine-looking women.
My sister does have a huge rack, though.
Oh God! You know,
She
I
does,
don't.
my God.
Okay, you're
factual
information. I just turn a blind eye to it when I go.
Speed or pleasure,
Hey,
Jim?
man, I had some really fine-looking
Were they built for
cousins,
speed or
man.
built for pleasure?
I still
Speed,
do.
okay.
Dude, I grew up with those, man. She always had a big old wop, 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 wop.
Okay.
wop.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
All I know is that that's why I
podcast
started
is coming into-
You know, it's
turning
funny.
into
That's why I
taboo,
started
too.
calling him. That's why I started calling him Billy. I mean Bill.
You can still call me Billy.
I don't know. You know what? I like to call people what they like to be called. Like I don't mind being called Jimmy, Jim, Jimbo,
James.
You know what I mean? Jim and Jimmy are the friendlier one, and Jimbo are when you're friends with someone. James is when some woman is interested in you, I think, or you're going to get fucked up by somebody.
I call you James.
You call me James?
Yeah, I called you James. You just walked in.
Glad to see you're interested.
I think I'm.
Yeah, what do you think of me?
Okay. Well,
Damn
I'm looking
it,
at you that differently than maybe.
Yeah, we're both good-looking guys. I mean, come on.
I don't talk. You know what? I did talk about myself that way before. I had two
You
Polish
didn't say
girls.
that in the mic, man.
Yeah, no.
I
You
just
have to repeat that again.
I
Hey,
threw
Bill,
up a
why
little
you
bit
do
there.
that? I don't talk about how you look, and you laughed when he said that.
Oh, no, I'm laughing at the connotations of that. That's just a little...
We're a couple of narcissistic dudes here.
Oh, you're talking about the gay. He's talking about the gay stuff.
Oh, see, I'm told. Yeah, see, that's just because he's
We
insecure.
don't have a problem with that, though. We don't have a problem with gay people.
That was a little bit gay. I have no problem with gay
Hey,
people.
man, I believe in freedom, man. People should be able to
whatever
free to
they
do the fuck they want,
Bill,
man. As
I
long as
love
they
gay
don't
guys.
hurt little
They're
kids and they don't hurt
Dude,
animals,
we were
I'm
playing at the
fucking
crib
good
one
with
night,
them,
and
man.
there's this guy walked in with fucking
pretty
high
good
heels,
little
a
ass
red
play coming
thong,
on,
and
so-
Oh, yeah. After listening to
Recreational
your last
cornholing
episode.
in West Virginia.
There we go.
We're not in
TJ
love. It's
Winther.
just
You're right.
recreational cornthing. It's wrestling for
That's that
position.
thing. That's like that prison thing. It's not really
Sorry,
gay
I didn't mean to
sex
interrupt
because
you.
you
No,
don't
I
hang
think you were
around
there. We had
women
the guy
around.
in the high heels, the red thong, and the three-quarter length.
Oh my
Yeah, that's just
God.
pretend what you're talking about.
There's nothing wrong with
That's
it.
just- that's just
There's nothing wrong with
I'm
it,
not
but
sure
it's that
what you
thing,
got
that
going on there,
closeted
buddy,
thing
but you're
where
fucking fantastic.
Here we got all
Keep
the
on going.
conversations
That's the best thing
going
I've
on.
seen all night.
All four of us
That
talking
was
at once.
That
This
was
is great
hilarious,
podcasting.
man. I remember that.
It
man.
works.
It's
It works
working.
for us. It's the way we do things, right, Luke?
We do things just so fucked up that it doesn't matter
until
anyway.
we do one of the radio plays.
Yeah.
right? Which come to you tomorrow. We're doing the next episode.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Transitioning. What?
Radio play. What do you mean?
Radio play.
I have a radio play. I have an ongoing radio play. It's called.
The thing about the chick's teeth.
Yeah. It's a true story.
Oh.
You know, really happened?
No, I was listening to that, and I was just going. So, like, whenever
Yeah.
I texted you, and I was like, "What kind of subject matter are we going to be talking about?" And then you never got, and I was nervous, and then so I listened to the episode, and then it got to that story, and I went, "Nope, not nervous at all."
Oh, because the content was horrible?
Oh, because this was just going to be the easiest thing I've ever done.
Well, it really happened.
I'm already the funniest person on this show.
Oh, okay. That's good you think that.
I'm just messing with them. It was a big joke. It was actually really funny and good. I'm sorry.
No, I like that. I like it. I'm not hurt. I don't have it hurt. Because, but what I did is, what I try to do is, what?
You said butt.
He said butt.
Okay, ass.
But the way you said
would be another question.
With two T's.
No, what I said is I changed.
B-U-T-T-Y.
I take true
butty.
stories, and I bring it up.
Yeah.
Bring it up to a different thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't usually have to amplify mine. Mine are so fucked up to begin with, but they're true, man.
No, I'm not saying amp it up. Actually, the ones are they're kind of fucked up stories. What I try to do is I misportray it as kind of classier, and then a protagonist comes in, or another person, an overseeing observer comes in and explains, no, that lady is a derelict, and so is her boyfriend. And I try to make it like a little
now
more
you sound like you're talking about me and my old lady, man.
I'm not talking about you guys.
I wasn't even found in the canal after the hurricane.
I lost him when he said overseeing observer.
Thanks,
no
Jim.
change.
Hey, you want to say hi?
Overseeing observer. That's a pretty redundant little thing right there, right? Do you think so? Overseeing observer.
Yeah.
If you're overseeing, you are observing.
Yes,
right?
you know.
It's redundant.
I love it, though. I want to use it.
Overlord.
I'm using it.
No, but someone that sees all of it going on. And then they
God,
make
the invisible guy in the sky.
Objective observation, where I make a subjective one when I see it through my lenses, because I want to see it that way. Because otherwise, if I don't see it that way, I see a bunch of losers coming in and asking a bunch of stupid questions.
Makes it hard to masturbate when you can't imagine what you want to masturbate about, you know? And that way, that's what you're basically saying, right? That you see things the way you want to see it. It's like
well, when it comes to masturbation, yeah, that's a different thing, yeah. But you're right. But
it's
in this case, I'm telling the story
on an ugly girl's head and fucking her for the unknown comic.
I use it as a humor device, and I figure. One time I saw this guy do this commercial for Lotto, and he says how he won the lottery with his girlfriend, and it was an older man, and he's talking about how he got his ticket, and he goes, I drove up in my truck, and he shows this really buff young guy jumping out of a giant monster truck with his kind of cheerleader, professional cheerleader girlfriend, and the guy's like 70 years old and stuff like that. It's just the way people portray themselves or see themselves or want to see themselves, and then someone comes in and says, that's not really how it is. You're a fucking
Tell that to
asshole.
anybody that's ever went on an internet date, man.
Oh,
you know? Hey, you don't look like your picture at all.
Oh, you know what? It's going to until
what
that
picture
day.
do you use?
It's what's it? Match.com, the big one, in eHarmony. I can't wait till 20-year anniversaries from some like the CDC or something to say, well, the highest level of man and wife homicides come from eHarmony and Match.com. You know, because there's no fucking way anybody's actually telling the truth about themselves.
No, I like Ashley Madison, man.
In real life,
that's
I
my
barely.
favorite one.
Well, see, the problem
in real
with
life,
Ashley
I barely
Madison
tell
is
the
I
truth
don't
about
think
myself.
there's ever
Oh, shoot, the first
one
couple
signed
months.
up for
no, but it's all
Ashley
dudes.
The first couple months of a
all
relationship,
dudes.
I'm a college graduate, and I've done all these things I've never
world
done.
explorer.
Yeah,
I'm a lot like Indiana Jones.
yeah. I'm sorry.
No, when someone
to
portrays
any
themselves,
woman
they're
that I've
portraying
been with.
themselves the way they can't go, well, I really haven't left the house in about 3 months, and man, if I had the opportunity, I wouldn't shower for weeks.
I'd be pretty good. I'd
Yeah,
be pretty
you don't
good with
wanna
my
know that.
description on that. Luke probably would be too.
You wouldn't have any
man, I
calls
could
though
sit there
if
and
you do
go,
it.
I'm
then.
into jerking off to internet porn at least 2 or 3 times a day.
Playing with my guitar.
Sometimes I like to touch my own butthole
Well, hey,
while I
listen,
jerk
mark my
off.
word, in
and,
10 years.
And
These
my
robot
ideal
girlfriends are
woman
going to change all
is about 4 foot tall,
There's
has a flat
match.com.
head.
Robot girlfriends and robot
So I set a beer on top while she gives me a blowjob.
will be the key, because you think about it. How much does it cost? You get a loser mate.
Yeah.
Male or female. If you're not doing really well with that, let's say you're a sad sack, you can't get a regular person, why not pay $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 for a robot girlfriend?
Hey, man, some of those robot chicks are hot.
She'll probably
man.
hate you, too.
I know, and once they get
No, he's
that,
right. Some of those robot chicks are hot.
Yeah, once
And they're really
Jesus.
perfecting that Jenna
Nowadays,
Jameson pussy,
those
man,
crazy,
on
yeah,
those
those
girls,
crazy
man.
dolls.
that isn't the benchmark. You got to
Those
watch
real
that,
dolls?
Luke. That's not always the best one, just because she's
Well,
a
no,
porn
but she
star.
did plow
There's a lot
ground,
of girls.
man.
There's a lot of girls that haven't been in porn that have that good part.
I actually bought Jenna Jameson's butt just so I could fuck her in the butt, man. And that's all it was. It was
I
just
never
a butt.
heard this.
That's all it
it's
was.
it's just I've
Just
seen
a
this
butt
before.
with a
I know what he's
hole
talking
in
about.
it.
It's just a latex.
I think that's such
It's
a
like
wonderful
two- I like
thing that you're
with a
opening
little
up to
thing.
us, Luke.
Yeah,
you're disgusting me.
I've never used one, by the way. I just know what he's talking
love that.
about.
Now you can say,
Disclaimer.
hey.
You know what?
Now, when we're going
to start casting aspersions to you anyway. Aspersions.
Now when you're a group of guys, you go, dude, I fucked Jenna Jameson's butthole. High fives all around.
No, it's
There
not.
you
It's a
go.
latex.
No, he fucked some
facsimile.
rubber
Oh,
that
that's
looked
okay.
like
Yeah,
but it's
anybody's
made
butthole.
in her
Don't have to
dimensions
tell
and
all
stuff,
that. You
man.
can say,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
fucked
he
Jenna
could've just-
Jameson.
And if you
We
want to
would've
make
just
it even
thought.
realistic, you
That's
show a little shit
one of
in
the
it.
commandments.
Hey.
You know, that's idols.
I'm not facing
False
the
idols.
crowd behind us. Are there children?
No.
There's
Okay.
a woman with a child staring right at you
Okay,
when
good.
you said Jenna Jameson's
Okay,
a
well,
asshole.
fuck her.
Well,
All right.
the thing is, man, kids scare the shit out of me anyway, and
Sad trap.
this is what I don't get about conservatives.
trap.
They're so against birth control
sad traps.
and abortion, but after the kid's born, they don't give a
Sad
fuck.
trap.
Sad trap.
I'm like, hey,
Because a
man,
satrap is
Not a sand trap.
a
Should be
Persian,
on birth
no, a
control.
Persian regional governor.
Yes.
I think we should
satrap.
supply
I never
free.
never had kids because I
Bullshit, man.
believe them to be
This
a
would
sad
be a lot
trap.
better place
I know
if we
you
had,
would.
I
if we had
figured, like, even
proactive
as
birth control.
see.
Especially
This is a
you
conversation
start it
when they're not
the
talking.
girls
I know.
are fucking.
He's so long. He's talking about
I love it.
asshole.
No, I'm talking,
we're talking
about
we're
birth
talking about
control.
more proactive
geez,
birth
they're
control.
actually-
universally for all chickies, and
about
unless
for
they,
guys?
or if they come up
Guys
with a good
too,
one
man.
for guys,
How about
you
guys?
know?
If
They do have a
inject it in
good
your
one. It
nuts.
only costs $200. Actually, it's cheaper than most women's birth
Yeah, but
control.
that's an
We just don't want to do
operation,
it.
and
It's an outpatient thing that takes like 2 hours. We're just
Well,
men and
the
we don't
thing
want to
is-
talk about it.
No,
Is,
nobody's going to clip my clip.
Yeah, no,
Clip,
I got
snip,
you, but you're
snip,
sitting
clip.
here like.
No,
Just
no,
saying.
what I'm
They gave
saying
me a pill
is,
to take.
I agree,
Well,
but I'm saying
I really wouldn't. If I
would
had
you
a
rather just
professional I
take a
trusted,
pill once
I
a
wouldn't have
day
a problem
or
You know
with
what
this
I
guy
do?
or not.
man?
You know what I do?
And I'm 54 years
You know
old.
what
I
pull out,
figure-
don't you?
Do you know what
Use
I
the
do? No,
pull
no,
out
no,
before
no.
you
I
come
only
technique.
date postmenopausal women.
Well, there
I know
you
I'm
go.
35.
Oh
I
my
just
God,
I only
man.
date
You're
people
a glutton
60
for
plus.
fucking punishment,
There you
man.
go.
Those
Yeah,
women
no,
are
it's all
that
good.
shit crazy. I know. I'm married to one.
Why don't you just get? Why don't you get a genetically formulated female with Stalin and Hitler?
By the way, I have a wonderful girlfriend that is not 60 years old.
Okay,
Disclaimer.
I forgot. On that note, on Monday morning,
She's gonna listen. I gotta
tell
make
a
sure I
short,
say that.
short story, and you can comment on it.
My old lady never pays attention to
She's
shit I
actually
ever
she's
say.
premenopausal,
Okay.
and so therefore I pull out and come on her tits.
I see. Okay,
I got a good story for Luke here.
This is so my okay. Your story.
Saturday night, I'm walking out the crib, and the bass player from Silver Spine pulls me off to the side.
Again.
He's talking to me, man. Hey, yeah, Luke, how you doing? No, how's that? I'm going. Look, I really like the fact that you guys did a whole bunch of set changes and did some different music for the crowd, and you're really doing a good job there. And then Kimberly walks up, and I'm like, hey, wifey, and she's going, are we doing this again? I'm laughing. I'm like, yeah, and I finally owned up, going, no, I'm the other one. I just look like him.
So that same night, a girl walked up to me at the Big Chill and goes, "Oh, hey, Jimmy." Thought I looked like Jimmy
Oh, you
Hawkins.
thought he looked like me?
Yeah.
They thought
Hey,
Jimmy
Jimmy,
Hawkins.
put on Jimmy
some weight.
Hawkins,
They
man.
think because a lot of people confuse us.
Hey Jim, you're
I don't
walking
see
with
that
less of a limp.
happening. Jim and I do not look at all alike.
You don't. Or maybe a little bit.
Hey,
I could never clean up that good, man. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
you probably
Jim's
Oh,
pretty
hell
sparkly,
no.
man. You know? I bet he
He's all
even
shiny.
took a shower today.
twice.
Twice.
Wow.
Damn.
I went to the gym in the morning.
So don't
you know what?
touch
Sometimes
yourself
I'm
in
gonna tell
an
you
impure
my
manner when you
exercise
shower?
routine is shit I put my people through at the spin class I teach.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, listeners, I'm a spin instructor. And I'm a ball buster, I'm told.
For those of you that don't know what spin is, it's people on bicycles going nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what? You're going to
Why the
Fitnessville,
fuck do
man.
you call
That's what
it
you're
a
fucking
spin
doing.
class? I thought you were
You're-
jumping around and spinning like those
Like a
figure
dervish?
skaters
Like
on the
a word
goddamn
dervish?
From what I know
Olympics,
is being
man.
a spin instructor, the hardest thing you got to do is pick a playlist. If I was a spin instructor, I would play Limp Bizkit's Keep Rolling, Rolling, Rolling for an hour and a half
Okay,
straight.
what I do is I'm on the
What
bike.
are we supposed to do?
I'm working.
Keep
I'm
rolling,
working
rolling.
out with them and DJing the class, and then I change with the mood of the class.
Yeah.
So I DJ the class. I don't have a playlist.
Do you have a death metal spin class that I can
I
attend?
use death metal. I use some death
Oh,
metal.
I would love that. Just
When I
Cannibal
was-
I use
Corpse.
some punk. I use some death metal. I
I'm
use some
thinking we
country,
need to
like country
branch
rock.
out and get you
Man,
some
Master of
bluegrass.
Puppets will get
I'll
you
use
going,
bluegrass.
man.
I got bluegrass.
Throw some Billy
I got
Strings
bluegrass.
in your thing, man. Grandpa's cough medicine.
There
Yeah,
you
no,
go.
that's a
No, I
great
got
band.
it. I do that. Well, I'm going to tell you about Monday. I'm going into the gym, and they have a digital board where they have announced all the classes for the day, and right on the bottom they have an inspirational quote, and I'm reading it, and it said, "Okay, so it's great. It's not visuals because it says you need to try to have triumph." And what they did, they spelled try the right way, T-R-Y, but in quotations, triumph was spelled T-R-I-H-U-M-P-H, triumph,
TRYHUMP.
T-R-I.
Try.
Oh,
H-U-M-P-H.
I thought it was TRY.
No,
then,
no,
like,
triumph. So they misspelled
hyphen and-
they made the right spelling.
Yeah.
So the second one isn't correct either. So T-R-I in triumph is
So
wrong.
what does this
And humph,
mean anyway?
well, triumph is T-R-I-U-M-P-H.
It's a motorcycle, yeah.
No,
fine.
but it's
do you ride a tri-hump?
you know, yeah. No, but
I already get where he's going.
it's like hump is a laundry detergent from the 1950s, and they put a thing and said, "Try hump to get your clothes vibrantly clean." You know what I mean? I'm looking at the girl, and the girl's looking at me. He says, "What? I picked that quote out myself. I thought it was inspirational." I said, "Well, I just think
It
the
is
misspelling."
inspirational. Take your clothes
I
off.
think it was great. I know.
That's
she
pretty
was-
It's
Inspirational.
inspirational.
Actually, I thought the girl was very sweet, and I thought I would be very happy if she was my daughter. I don't think girls that way when they're that young.
Twat.
I lie. I mean, I say that because my wife listens to the
No,
podcast.
I was laughing. We were sitting out back. We were doing a
Your wife
benefit.
listens
We were
to
doing a
this.
benefit couple weeks ago, and I had this cute little 23-year-old girl. Me and a buddy of mine were sitting out back there. And we're passing a whiskey bottle. She's sitting there, and we're just laughing, shooting shit. And she's like, "Well, you guys are just pretending like I don't have tits." And I'm like, "Oh, you're like 22. Come back in 20 years and talk to me."
Yeah, that's what he was thinking, ladies. Yeah, if you believe
seriously.
that.
No, whenever I see those young hot girls, I just look them square in the face and tell them the truth, man. Baby, I can disappoint you in ways you ain't ever even been disappointed yet.
Exactly.
man.
Have you ever had anybody come dust on your tits?
You know, I used to take a towel to clean up. Now just takes one little square of toilet paper.
No, man.
Just a light blow.
Feather duster, just knock that dust off there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Listen, I think
we're a
how
little
long
off
are we
track.
into the show?
We're 48.
Oh, we're 48. I think we're going to be starting wrapping it up. But to end the show, I just want to give one thing. I got these. I got these things from Jack Handy's Deep Thoughts from Saturday Night Live.
And now,
there's one.
Jack
I'm just going to
Handy.
read one. And I don't know if it's pertinent or not, but it's about peace and distracting people. If you're in a war, instead of throwing a hand grenade at your enemy, throw one of those small pumpkins. Maybe it'll make everyone think how stupid war is. And while they're thinking, you can throw a real hand grenade at them.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to thank Josh Kassel for
Thank
being
you for
here.
having me. I
Thanks,
hope I
Josh.
can come back again.
Josh is a
Anytime.
bartender at
I'm at Buzzard's Roost Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights. The weekday nights we do
Yeah,
a great happy
yeah,
hour, by
okay.
the way. Go
Hey,
ahead.
I'm going to be playing over there, filling in for For
somebody.
Some dude
from
from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Does he listen to this podcast?
No.
If he doesn't listen to this
I knew his
podcast,
name,
I'd
but-
rather you play.
Are you
So
still
I'm glad
playing?
I'm seeing you.
Do you still play at Gilbert's?
yeah,
sometimes.
Okay, you can
Twice a month.
go to Luke's Facebook page if you want to find out currently when
Go
he's
to my
playing.
wife's Facebook page because
Okay.
I'm canceling mine again. I fucking hate goddamn fucking Facebook.
The guy from Wisconsin.
Okay, well you should have a website.
and I can see he wears a nice
He
hat.
sings like it's from Wisconsin. So far away from here. Like it
so
sounds
far away.
So far away.
Okay, and then we got Bill Wissinger. Woo! Okay, and the places he plays at.
Well, it sounded like people from Minnesota.
I'll play anywhere
Luke's
the
all
people give me
stepping
money.
all over your thing. He
That's
plays all over.
Hey,
He plays all over.
you working Saturday daytime?
This Saturday?
Yeah.
You're going to have to check with Kim, I think. That's going to be
It's
the
gonna take
answer to
a
that
couple
one.
What time during the day?
1 to 4.
I can do that.
Okay, cool. You're on.
They could literally do this when you're done wrapping up.
Shipwrecks.
Okay,
Cool. Yeah.
we can do this.
Actually, I'm going to put that in my plastic brain. So
I want to
I'll call your wife too.
Okay, I want to thank the Blackwater Siren for having us here.
Jesse does a
They're on
fantastic
the
job down
they're
there.
on the
yeah, I'm
they're
at
on the
the
south side of Jewfish
Saturday
Creek.
night.
Okay, cool.
On the other side of the bridge when you're heading south. On the
What is that,
first
Anchorage?
exit, Yacht Drive, I think.
Yacht Club Drive.
Yacht Club
fucking
Drive. Yacht Club
man.
Drive. So when you're coming over the bridge, when you're coming from the north, heading south, you go over the bridge, and then you make your turn off. When you're heading north, it's the first exit when you get on the bridge.
He's done the geography around here like 5 times, and he won't say Jewfish Creek.
Yeah, no, he's at
He
Jewfish
does
Creek.
not.
I just said
Did you say
Jewfish.
Jewfish? Because
I
I'm
got
like,
Jewfish.
why won't you just say
I
Jewfish
got Jewish
Creek?
people in
Everybody
my
knows what that
family.
is.
He's got
I'm not
Jewish people sitting
anti-Semitic.
next to him.
No, I'm
He's
not saying
Jewish.
you are. I'm just saying that you
He's
might
Jewish.
feel
No,
like you don't want to
I'm
say Jewfish.
feeling very Aryan sitting next to this Jewish man.
Of course, according to my mother, I haven't been Jewish for a long time.
I
was really
know,
good
that's
of you.
me. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is Jim the Keys Bartender. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Hey, if we don't see it before it rains, may all your showers be golden.
There you go.
If we don't see it before it rains, piss on you.
There you
Hey,
go.
make sure you come and see us, and if you can't come, see a doctor.
We do appreciate all you people listening to us. Thank you so much.